Hi Jen, so this is just a quick video just giving you a bit of an introduction into Shopify. There'll be a lot more support to come from me, so don't panic if there's things that are not covered in this video. We're just going to look at the important parts before we put the shop live. So the first thing I want to talk to you about is shipping. So if you log into Shopify, down the bottom left here you'll see settings. If you click on that, and then basically if you click on shipping and delivery, and that will bring you to the screen here where all your shipping information is. So what I've done is I've set it, you'll see here, so at the moment we're only shipping to the United Kingdom. There are other options if you do want to ship overseas. There's lots of things to consider with that. So for now I've left it on United Kingdom, but let me know if you do want to change that. So shipping obviously is very important. You don't want to be launching the shop without having your shipping rates correct, because quickly you could start losing money. There's lots of different approaches, and I know you already have an Etsy store, so you have a good idea of how you sort of approach your shipping. Some of my customers have free shipping on everything, and then they just factor it into their costs. And obviously others have different shipping rates depending on the size and the weight of the item. So what I'm going to just briefly show you is, if you go into Manage, it will basically show you all the products in the store. You can ignore that. Further down here, these are the generic ones that Shopify starts with. So you can ignore those. If you want to remove them, there's a delete button next to them, so you can actually just delete those too. They're just examples basically to show you some presets. What you tend to do is add a rate for shipping, and then you've got different options in here. So you can choose a standard rate for postage, an express option, or a custom flat rate. So everything shipping is one set price is the option for that one. And then basically you would go through, choose your the method you want to use. So for example, if you want everything to be shipped standard or have an option for standard, you can then add some conditions. So if you said the postage on every item in the shop, for example, was going to be $1.99, you could just set that a standard transit time is 2 to 4 business days and the standard set price is $1.99. So that would be a way of doing a generic sort of blanket cost for all shipping. You also can, down the bottom here, you can base it on weight and you can base it on price. So for example, you could say for a minimum order and a maximum price, there's a certain shipping. So for example, if they place a minimum order of £10 and a maximum order of £50, then the shipping is $1.99. And you basically add as many rates as you feel are necessary. So some customers will have a first class post, a second class post, and an express post option. So you would add each one of those ones in, and just have a think about how you want to price it, whether you do a blanket cost or whether you do a cost based on the item's weight or based on the item's price. I will send you some Shopify videos as well in their help files, which just help explain that a bit further. So if you get stuck with this, let me know. Obviously, we'll check that and make sure you're happy with it and do a sort of dummy test purchase. We won't actually pay, but we'll do a dummy test purchase just to check that the store is doing what you think before we go live. So that's the sort of fiddly bit that needs a little bit of thought. But once you've got it set up once, you tend to find it never needs touching again. So the next thing I'm going to cover is, if we come out of here, it's the products themselves. So if you go up into the products menu, you'll see every single product in the store. There's a couple of key things to talk to you about within that. So if you just click a random product, you'll see the usual things. The title is important because if you go down to the bottom, the search engines are picking up those titles and the descriptions that we've set. So there's some good keywords in there, and there's some good keywords in the title and the description. So it's good to sort of leave them as they are. There's some good sort of listings with them. So you set your title for an item. You've got your description, which is just what's been taken from Etsy. So again, you can add to this and remove bits. You can edit that as you're happy with it. And then you just hit save at the top. Other things to cover is the categories. So I've set up the categories. So once you do a product, each one is assigned to a category. So this is Everlasting Flowers Autumn Wreath. So it's in the product category of dried flowers, but in the collection of the hoops and wreaths. So it's the collections I wanted to actually talk about, not the categories. So the collections in here, we've put a tick next to it to say that it's in the hoops and the wreaths collection. So every product that you have is assigned to the collections that we've preset. So if you wanted to add it into a different category as well, you tick that box as well. Or if you wanted to make sure it's displayed on the home page, you would tick that box. So that's sort of, each thing's done with the collections that we set on the home page. We have those in collections displayed as images and direct links to the sections. So collections are how we define where the product goes. Stock level is also important. So below your pricing, You've got the stock level. I gave each item a unique number basically for now, but you can change that to a code or something more relevant if you wish. And then basically what I've done is I've set the available of one of each. So I've said there's only one of every item that you're selling. So for example, if you looked and you said, actually, I've got 4 or 5 of those, you could go in and change the stock level as need be. Just add in there as many as you wanted to. You know, if you say you've got 10, you're basically saying I've now got 10 items. You then save that. So that's important for stock level, because if you have only got lots of one-offs, then that's why it would be good to set them all as only one available to purchase. And then when someone comes on the online shop and purchases it, it becomes out of stock. No one else can then buy it. So that can be changed to as often as you need to. So as stock becomes less or you have more, you can come into each item and adjust your stock levels accordingly. This is the part where we had, if you knew the weight of items, each item you could go in and you could pop the weight in pounds or in ounces or kilograms or grams, and then that would help you with the postage if you're basing all your postage on weight. So yeah, that's sort of the main part of that. Fairly self-explanatory. Your images sit within there. You can add more images by clicking add and then just choose where those are. And equally, you can click the little options and remove any photographs that you don't want. Yeah, so that's pretty straightforward how to manage products. The other thing which we touched on briefly is the collections. They're the collections that we agreed and we set on the home page. And it tells you there you've got 2 products in that collection, 12 in the weddings, 6 in the hoops, 1 in the seasonal. If you wanted to add collections later on, you just click at the top and you'd create another collection. So whether it was winter collection, but again, if you're not comfortable doing that, I can do that for you. But effectively, you'd create a collection, you give it a title, give it just a quick 1-sentence description. You would then need to tell it you're going to manually put items into that particular collection. So for example, if this was Christmas flowers and this description just said, you know, a range of Christmas flowers, then that's all the options you'd need. You'd then hit save, and then basically then you've got another collection of products that are available. So collections are managed like that, and you can also delete collections if you needed to. You could basically put the tick in the box and then delete the entire collection if you decided you wanted to. But yeah, I've set the collections all up for you as they are, and I'm happy to help you with that going forwards if you need it. And then the online store itself, I've done the design for you, but if you wanted to customize it, under your online store and your themes option, you have a customize button. So you can customize bits if you wish to. For example, you could change the banner with something if you wanted to change it. The collections you've only got these collections at the moment, but you could go in and change this to a different collection. If you suddenly had a Christmas one, you could change this one from seasonal over to Christmas if you've already set that collection up. And then every sort of box that you click in, you can edit the text on the right hand side. If you want to change the wording in the mission statement, you could go in there and change it within there. And then you've got the save option if you do make any alterations. There's not really any other pages other than the contact page, but all the other pages you wanted to alter, you would basically go into the pages section, click on the contact page, it will then load that. You could then alter bits of the contact page. So that's how you sort of edit elements in the design and look of the store itself. But again, don't panic too much. There's going to be a lot of ongoing support from me, and anything you're not sure about, obviously I will cover. The main thing before we actually launch and go live is just to do those shipping rates. Again, give me a shout if you need some help. We'll do a test and just check that they're all set up correctly, and I'll double check them for you. And then when we know that those are done, we're basically good to go live. So yeah, have another watch of this video if you need to. Any questions, give me a shout. We'll get those shipping rates sorted and then we can launch. Thanks for watching.